No. Well then, there's a reason why I think the ecchi genre is the absolute worst, and this is it. This is definitely the worst of the season. I'm just creating this video as a warning to not view this atrocity. Why, you might ask? Let me elaborate. Note that this is based off of only the first 2 episodes that I saw, and the 3rd episode is out, but I have yet to see it, but I will watch it quite soon. The story is basically about a boy, Shinichirou, who encounters a girl by the name of Sakuya, who is the 37th head of the Shimazu family, who eliminates creatures of the world. This totally sounds like the most original plot, right? Am I correct? Of course I'm correct. The plot totally doesn't sound like it's been done before. Am I correct? Yeah, of course I am. I'm always fucking correct. Yeah, my lord, this totally doesn't sound like Shakugan no Shana or Campione. Oh, and guess what? The main dude is in some way special. Totally not like Sakai Yuji from Shakugan no Shana. And the girl is a tsundere just to be a tsundere. She totally isn't like Shana from Shakugan no Shana. Am I correct? But I'm gonna stop comparing. Let's just talk about Isuca itself. The plot is completely cliche, and everything that has been doing so far from the first 2 episodes have been done better in other anime of various genres. This automatically downgrades its premise for not only being non-original, but for not even trying to set it apart from other shows. The story opens up with a girl flashing her boobs and turning into a giant centipede monster. Was this ecchi even needed? No, of course not. This is the reason why I despise the ecchi genre. They throw in ecchi as either a means of poorly written comedy or just appeal to the male audiences by supplying 2D bongo boingos. And it gets way more disgusting in Isuca. Not only does it reduce its female characters to mere objects, but look at this! Now please tell me why that was needed. This is writing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the writing of Japan. This is what anime is nowadays. A lot of it, actually. And for some reason, people love it. They just chew it up. Let's praise this type of storytelling and innovation. It's just amazing. It's fantastic. It's out there. It's, you know, something original. And of course when I say that, I'm joking. Who the fuck do you think I am? This is just atrocious. The characters, as I mentioned, are severely weak, and to call them characters would be just actually generous. Let's take a closer look. By the way, this is supposed to be funny. Ha 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 ha. That's funny because of boobs and vagina pussy in his face. This is the state of female characters in these types of shows. Do you really think that this is a strong female lead? Or is it because it gives you a boner that you like her? There is nothing likable here. The main protagonist is basically the harem king archetype, with no depth, lack of development, and a lack of proper characterization. He is nothing special and so far has done nothing to differentiate himself from other harem kings of the same archetype. He has something that apparently makes him different, but that something that'll make him different, let's just face it, later on down the road it will probably turn to a Deus Ex Machina power that will probably end up playing no relevance to the plot until the very end. That still will not excuse his poor characterization or development prior to that. In fact, he may be one of the weakest protagonists I've ever seen in an ecchi. But that's just basing it off of the first 2 episodes though, so I could be mistaken. But right now, I foresee him going nowhere. And yes, he is completely oblivious that these girls like him. Why, you might ask? He probably saw Fisting Fireman 7 and was like, hell yeah! The girl fits the tsundere archetype, and what's worse, in episode 1 she is shown as an object rather than a character. She acts like a cut and paste tsundere, and there is nothing else to her. To sum up these 2 characters, I would just have to call them the most uninteresting characters ever. They're way more uninteresting than porn where the people have clothing on. If people fail to see why a lack of development, characterization, or being just only an archetype is a bad thing, you guys need to stop watching SAO, because that's all this is. As I was saying about her being an object, look at this. Look at this groundbreaking dialogue that any horny teenager could have wrote. Look at this. This is a fantastic character? Ha, you wish. Then there's a cat girl who I just like to call Pussy. Why? Because she's just a walking pussy, where the only purpose in the show is to just get the main character aroused. Like any other harem girl that we've ever seen, there is nothing interesting to find in her. She's basically no different than other characters of her kind. So to conclude with the characters, they are all pretty much bland archetypes, or walking boobs, or for a lack of a better term, whores! The art and animation of Isuca rivals that of Fate Zero. And those of you who just believed me, ha 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 ha, how dare you! This anime's production values are horrid. The art looks bland, uninspired, undetailed, and unpolished. The character designs are generic, nothing special about them at all. Backgrounds are either undetailed or appear to be done in Photoshop. No, wait, nah, not even Photoshop. It looks like they were done on Microsoft Paint. The art style brings nothing new, completely generic, been there, done that, you've seen it before, you'll see it again, it's just standard. Actually, below standard. As for the animation, let's just say the animation is trash. It looks like it was done on Windows Live Movie Maker at points. In a few scenes, it appears that they're using like a wavy effect that looks like it was done on freaking Windows Live. And the transitions are like Microsoft PowerPoint. There is nothing here that screams passion. There is more choppy footage than a castration convention. There is more sliding PowerPoint effects than a college presentation. And there's less character movements than 2 stick figures on a piece of paper. They even use dust to cover up bad animation. But even then, the dust was animated poorly as well. It's a poor gimmick to hide poor animation. That's like a poor person buying a hobo expired milk. Why would you do that? What's the point? The show was handled really poorly. Piss poorly to be exact. The action scenes are lackluster at best, and there's absolutely nothing special here in terms of cinematography and quality. The sound? What sound? A generic opening for a horrendous ecchi. Seems about right. The sound effects are meh, and the voice acting is nothing good at all. In fact, it's not even bad either. It's just what you would expect out of ecchi, I guess. The OST is literally nothing memorable, and low in quality. So what are my final thoughts on Isuca? Well, I have no words for the show. Actually, I'm at a loss for words. How can something be so fucking bad? If you like this anime, that's fine, but god damn, is this anime the main reason I despise ecchi? They are mostly the same thing, and they never try to differentiate its characters or bring original stories at all. The only type of humor that they rely on is whose boobies can flop the most on screen. And the stories are all so lazily written. Honestly, Joss Whedon couldn't even make this anime good. I'm currently writing a rant about ecchi at this moment, but there is a reason why people think most otakus are weird. As of now, I don't foresee this getting any better, and honestly, it's garbage. I will say though, there's only 2 ecchis that I actually like. High School DxD and Sora no Tashimono. Because High School DxD embraces all of its etchiness and turns it into something that's actually quite enjoyable to watch. And Sora no Tashimono actually has some well-written comedy in there, as well as some lighthearted moments. And doesn't always rely on ecchi. So this concludes my video on my first impressions of Isuca. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. Also go to the Facebook community down in the description below where you guys can talk about anime and such. Also go follow me on Twitter and go check out the Otaku Fruit podcast, because that's a podcast that I'm a part of, and we talk about a lot of things like cooking hot dogs, and oh my god, it is such a good time. Everything will be down in the link to the description down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, have a nice day. Don't even try to watch this anime. Boom!